Amos 2 is arguably the best looking racing simulation on the market right now and also offers many in-game graphics options to create the look you want. Nevertheless, Reshade Co is a possibility to make our favorite game look even better or give it that very special visual appearance we've been craving for. Some of these reshades are pretty obvious and quite intrusive, others are more subtle. And then there's also this category named Special, aka Broken. Today, however, I'd like to show you two reshade filters that I like a lot and use frequently because they in fact enhance my gaming experience. Also, I'll show you the often overlooked but actually quite powerful Nvidia filter, which unlike some reshades doesn't eat any performance, aka FPS. But before we start tweaking the actual image or even improving the visuals, I want to show you my basic settings because, well, these are for me default or sort of vanilla. So here it is. This is the resolution. I run it in window mode borderless. Texture resolution is high. Anisotropic 8 times. No vertical sync. MSAA high. Reflections environment medium. Car detail ultra. Track detail high. And so on. Shadow detail medium. Grass particle filter medium. Particle density high. That's the first part. And here's the second one. Post-processing filters are on, of course. Sun flares are minimal. Bloom is on. Heat haze is on. And exposure compensation is already pretty low. You can crank that up to 2.0. Way too much for me, my personal taste. So this is the most important value here because my default, my basic image is already low on exposure compensation. So it's by default a not very bright and colorful image. But we're building on that. All right. These are the effects. And now we can jump into our little Porsche GTE and go for a ride on the Nordschleife to compare the visuals. To do this, you certainly need an Nvidia graphics card and have the Nvidia Experience Center installed. While anywhere on the screen or in any game, just press Alt-Z, Alt-Z, and then you'll see this menu. And from here, you can then press Game Filter, Spielfilter, it is in German, or press Alt F3, or skip that step and directly press Alt F3 to directly go into the Spielfilter while your game is running. To the left is the vanilla game without any reshade or any alterations. To the right, it's the version with the Nvidia filter. Let's quickly go through it. It's in German here, but I'll try to translate it. Bildschirmaufteilung is split screen. The comparison view you're seeing here. Schärfen Plus is sharpening plus. I picked these values. Intensity 66. Texture details 0. You may go higher, of course, much higher if you prefer. Take a look at the right. There are the changes to it. That's 100. We're not talking realism here, to be clear. It's just for the maximum or for a very, very crisp and sharp image. Let me put that back. Then Farbe is color. Well, I've been pretty reluctant here. Just move it up for you to see the differences, but you can go all the way in, make this very, very colorful and bright. Very saturated, so to say. I'm not a fan of that. That's the dyeing color, and that's the dyeing color intensity. Let's crank that up. Okay, it looks not that good, in my opinion, so let's be more careful about it. Temperature is temperature, of course. Here we go. Yeah. That's personal preference. Und Farbanpassung is color adjustment. Color adjustment, not, yeah. That's effectively saturation, if you ask me. So let's keep that also around level. Belichtung Kontrast is lighting and contrast. So I put this to 10%. Going up, 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 up. Yeah, for a super bright look, you may do that. That's 100%. Yeah, that's some bright image. Here we go with a contrast. Well, yeah. In reality, there's often much more contrast than one would think with very, very dark areas, especially in the interior, and very bright and, yeah, dusty looking, glaring spots on the outside. I put shades to 100. Let's see what that does, if that was intentional or not. Ah, that's the difference. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, I didn't like that look. So yeah, 100 may be too much, but okay, let's go there. Gamma is gamma, of course. Well, play around with it if you like to. I don't. And finally, Einzelheiten, that's details in English. We have another sharpening value. Yeah, you could crank that up, but the differences are, well, it's unrealistically sharp, of course. Proper tech image. Klarheit is clarity. Also, not very realistic due to camera lenses and our natural view, but find what suits you best. HDR, HDR-Tönung is HDR, well, dyeing or coloring. Yeah, like this one. I mean, obviously, brighter images show more details, of course, and make orientation easier. So when going competitive,
instead of immersive or realistic, I'd always go for the sharper and brighter image. Überstrahlung means overexposure. So these are the filters and details values I would use if I was to go for a very crisp, sharp, so to say, competitive image. You can really do something here. It always depends on what you're driving at. What I found for me, it's dependent on my race situation, of course. I like the reshades here and there if I race classic cars, older cars, 60s, 70s cars, perhaps do some replays. I like that. Then sort of, washed out sepia style, very low saturated images. It just adds to the immersion of driving a Pro Car M1 or an old Brabham F1, an old Lotus F1, whatever. In the end, as always, it's up to you, and find the image that suits you best for your driving style and for what you want to see, where literally your focus is. Is it on immersion, realism, or is it on competition, seeing as much details as possible to go even faster?
Thanks a lot for watching. Happy racing. Have a good time. Until the next one. Bye.